We got the game of the week in the NFL this week. The Dallas Cowboys, red hot right now, coming off a blowout win over Philly. They're taking on the Buffalo Bills. Holy cow. The stakes are as big as ever. The Buffalo Bills need this win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Dallas Cowboys need this win so they can stay in the mix for the 1 seed. I don't know who's going to win this game. Honestly, both of these teams are getting outstanding quarterback play. Dak Prescott has played himself into the MVP discussion. And Josh Allen, other than that turnover-prone game that he had against the Denver Broncos, this dude has been phenomenal. And he's played at an MVP level. And I've been arguing with a couple of people, making no argument for Josh Allen to be in the MVP discussion. Buffalo's defense plays really well for the first 3 quarters and a half, but anytime they're in a close game and they need a big stop to win it in the 4th quarter, they just fall apart. And they beat Kansas City last week, but if it wasn't for that costly offsides penalty by Kadarius Toney, maybe Kansas City ends up winning that game. This is a defense that just shrivels up in big moments under Sean McDermott. But with Josh Allen, though, you know you're going to have a shot to win it if you have the ball in his hands to end the game. And this possibly could be a game that comes down to whoever gets the ball last on offense. Okay, you trust Dak Prescott with the ball in his hands. He's taken great care of the football this year. Not a lot of turnovers. Josh Allen, when he's not turning the football over, we know what this dude can do. But you see, the problem with Josh Allen is the turnover issue. The turnover issue hasn't really been a big deal for them the last couple of weeks. He did have an interception against Kansas City. Going against Dallas, though, they're a team that excels at creating takeaways, especially when you have aggressive corners such as DaRon Bland. And I wonder how these receivers of the Buffalo Bills, Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, and including Dalton Kincaid, he's not a receiver, he's a tight end, but you might as well include him in that department as well. How they going to fare up against this Dallas secondary? Is this going to be a Dallas secondary that is going to get beat by double moves? Is this going to be a game where DaRon Bland gets carved up by Stephon Diggs? You remember a couple of weeks ago, Thursday Night Football, DK Metcalf went over $100 and a couple of tutties on DaRon Bland. DaRon Bland was getting cooked all game long by Seattle. They were running whoever offense on him. How is DaRon Bland going to play against arguably one of the best receivers in the NFL and Stephon Diggs? That's going to be a key matchup to watch. Now, Buffalo, I want to see how much success they're going to have on the ground with James Cook. Dallas has a pretty good run defense. So does Buffalo. James Cook could be an X factor for Buffalo winning this game. Not only is he really explosive when he gets the ball in his hands on the ground, but he's also a factor in the passing game. And you know, Dallas, I wonder how they're going to try the game plan for James Cook. James Cook could be one of these players that could be the unsung hero for Buffalo winning this game. He had a big touchdown reception not too long ago. I believe it was against Kansas City. And I just love James Cook's game. You look at Dallas, you got Tony Pollard. They haven't really been able to get him going this season, but he still is pretty effective. But the Buffalo Bills are really good against the run. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. This could be a game that comes down to the quarterback play. Which quarterback is going to be better in big moments? Who can take care of the football? Who do you trust more? Dak Prescott or Josh Allen? You know that Josh Allen is more talented with his athleticism, how much of a tank he is when he decides to run the football. He had a rushing touchdown last week when Kansas City did pretty much an all-out blitz. It was a cover zero blitz. Everybody was coming down trying to get Josh Allen, and it didn't fucking matter because Josh Allen bulldozed pretty much all of Kansas City's defense and still scored the touchdown anyway. Against Michael Parsons and the cyborgs that Dallas has on this defense, though, how are they going to try to contain him? If you can keep Josh Allen in the pocket and force him to beat you, and you don't allow him to get outside the pocket and make all kinds of these crazy throws. It was one throw last week. It was another crazy-ass moment Josh Allen had when he's running towards the sideline. It looks like he's about to step out of bounds, and this dude keeps his feet in bounds, throws a dime to another receiver downfield, And it ended up resulting in a fumble, I believe. But this dude, Josh Allen, just does all kinds of insane shit every single week. Dak Prescott can't pull off the kind of plays that Josh Allen can, but that doesn't mean that he hasn't been as good. This dude has been methodical. He's been efficient, and I love his cadence. Y'all listen to Dak Prescott's cadence. This dude has the coolest cadence in the history of football. Here we go. Like, that's just too cool. But back on the game, with Dak Prescott and this offense, they've been able to do whatever they wanted to do throwing the football. You finally got Brandon Cooks going. You got CeeDee Lamb looking like a top 3, top 5 receiver, wherever you want to rank him. I'm not going to push back against you. Buffalo secondary has been incredibly sensational, though. And yeah, they had some moments when they gave up some big plays against the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. But for the most part, this is a fundamentally sound secondary. They don't have a lot of miscommunication issues. They don't have blown assignments, and they can get after the quarterback. Dallas offensive line Thursday night against the Seattle Seahawks a few weeks ago, they had a lot of success getting pressure on Geno Smith. And not just that, but Dallas, their offensive line, gave up a good amount of pressure to Seattle's pass rush. So this is a Buffalo Bills defensive front that has a lot of guys who can get after you. Von Miller hasn't really been that much of a impact player the last few weeks for Buffalo, but you still have to account for him. AJ Epinesa, like there's a lot of talent and depth on this defensive line when it comes to the pass rush of the Buffalo Bills. This is a game that can really go either way. Okay, Dallas doesn't give the ball away too often, but the Bills defense, they do a great job at forcing takeaways. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. Their defense is sensational at forcing turnovers. And in a game like this, even though Buffalo is playing at home and Buffalo has played their best football when they've been playing in Buffalo this year, you know, I got to go with the Cowboys to win. You see, the Cowboys, to me, right now, they're playing their best football, and this is a Cowboys team that I haven't seen in previous years. And this schedule that they have to close out the month of December is incredibly tough because after this game, they got to play the Miami Dolphins. But they're one of those teams that they're so talented on both sides of the football, and with how good they are at forcing turnovers, with the quarterback prone, with a turnover prone quarterback and Josh Allen, I just take Dallas to win this game because I trust their defense to get a big stop more late in this game than I do Sean McDermott's defense. Josh Allen, he's going to give them a couple of turnovers. I don't know when they're going to happen. It could be early in this game. It could be late in this game. But if you're a Bills fan, you're definitely hoping that those turnovers transpire early in this game because late in this game, it'll be back-breaking for you. But Dallas, I just trust them more late in this game than I do the Buffalo Bills. Not just because they're good at forcing turnovers and Josh Allen with his style of play can be a little bit reckless, but also because this offense against Sean McDermott's defense in the fourth quarter, I like their chances of them being able to get the job done. Buffalo's defense has not really been that dependable late in games all season long. Even against Kansas City, if it wasn't for Kadarius Toney giving them that gift, they possibly would have lost that game. You look back to how they lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, they get the field going overtime, and it doesn't matter because Philly goes down the field, and they scored a touchdown to seal the win in OT. This isn't a defense that has been proven to be trustworthy, especially with the game on the line. I like Dallas to get the win. 31-27 is my final score prediction for this matchup.